Alright, let's get going. So I have been looking at my channel very closely at Media Magpie Ka-Pow and seeing how I can improve it, and things have got to change basically. And so I've started to look at it, and today I was just noticing the keywords that I use and the playlists that were there that had failed, and I thought I would go through it as a video for you, and so that if you've got your own channel or thinking about doing it, you might be able to learn something from my mistakes. So I've been doing this for 12 years and my channel has an identity crisis. The signs were there for the start. This was my original idea for a banner. It's hand drawn, it's not professional, it doesn't look good. It was okay for the time just to get something up there, but now of course with the developments in art and AI art and stuff like that, there's no excuse for it. So I'll be looking at that in the future. And you can see my keywords. These were the only keywords for my show, for my channel. And so basically I had to do something about that. I did, and I changed it to these because you do get a fair amount of words to use. So I think these are a lot better and describe what I want to do with the channel. Basically, I'm looking at, there's always going to be a part of this channel that is English language teaching. That's my job, that's my day job, that's how I make a lot of my money. It's a very useful way of communicating with my students, so there'll always be a bit of this here. But I also want to get into fiction, and particularly the stories that I'm writing, and so I'm going to use this site to push some of those things as well, and hopefully that'll be some interesting content. Looking at the playlists, well, don't take this the wrong way. Halo 4 was not a very successful one for me. You know, at the start, it was my kids playing these games, and I would sort of like video them on with the iPad or something like that, and Halo was one of those games that I would play and video, but as you can see, I didn't get very many views. Minecraft, the kids were really into Minecraft. They used to make big things, and I used to do, you know, you can see that they got 21 views, which is actually not too bad for some of these playlists, but this one was not, you know, going to take off. There's plenty of Minecraft videos out there, the channels out there, and they make, you know, a lot of money, I'm sure, but it just didn't work for me. I'm not a computer gamer, really. I don't have enough time to do it. I've got work, I've got family, I've got my creative writing. So I guess, you know, doing computer games works for some people. It didn't work for me. So I have to rethink that, and definitely am taking computer games out of this YouTube channel. Mario Kart was a lot of fun. I really liked, you know, playing that game with the kids, and, you know, videotaping it. This is when I first learned about how draconian Nintendo can be with their copyright. So just so that I don't get dinged for this one, I'm going to change the art. Don't want to leave that on too long. And at that same time, I started to use some music of my friends of the Restless Tides, and he would let me use my music just because if you had anything about Mario Kart on there, they would basically demonetize you. And when I first started my YouTube channel, everybody was monetized, and so was I. And it was sort of early on in the picture, I can't remember exactly when we got emails telling me that it was no longer going to be monetized unless certain conditions were met, i.e. 1,000 subscribers or so many views, so many hours of views, etc. like that. So that's something to remember, that it used to be monetized for everybody. Speaking of the Restless Tides, I'll just give my friend a plug because he deserves it. If you want to check out his music, check out these recordings of his. It's on Apple Music, I believe, and a few other things. I used to use some of the first album as background for a few of my videos, and it was quite nice and interesting if you like that kind of music. Another one was Zelda. I didn't get a lot of views, but as you know from my fiction, that I do like a good werewolf, and this particular one, Zelda the Twilight Princess, had a great sort of werewolf transformation for Link, and it was a lot of fun, but unfortunately it didn't relate to any views. One of my kids was right into Assassin's Creed, probably a little bit too violent, but anyway, those were the days. And as you can see, no views. I think that it wasn't, it's just not entertaining for people to be watching other people play unless you're super good or super funny with it, or maybe playing with a team and there's a lot going on and there's a couple of jokes or something like that. But yeah, it didn't work for me. Lord of the Rings, the game, not the movie. And once again, I'm not saying anything about Lord of the Rings. I'm sure Lord of the Rings is very popular on YouTube, and I myself watch a lot of YouTube about Lord of the Rings, and even some of the other games. I'm sure they have got very successful YouTube. It just didn't work for me. It didn't resonate with my audience and didn't take off, unfortunately. And I can't remember, I know there was the Lego game and there was another one, I think it's this one, but I couldn't find it, and I couldn't remember it, but I think it's pretty sure it's that one. Other things I tried were other games, show bags from like the Eka and things like that, pranks and tricks and jokes and stuff like that, which were just silly things that I set up with the kids. Tower defense games, there was a thing called Viking Defense or something like that. I really liked that and I played it, and I got a couple of, I don't know why it says 14 views. It's not too bad, I guess. Forge of Empires, that was another thing. Browser games, recipes and cooking. I'm not much of a cook anyway. I do cook though, but it's nothing, it's not like a French chef or anything like that. Role-playing games, which is, a hobby of mine, but none of them really worked, unfortunately. Even my Star Wars pinball machine couldn't save my channel, and that didn't get very many views either. The Blue Elves were powerless, and I'm not talking about the Smurfs or the Na'vi, I'm talking about Elvenar, and that's a computer game, sort of like building your own town and army and stuff like that. I sort of have stopped playing these games anyway because I don't have the time and I don't really want to spend the money. It's sort of a pay-to-win game, but it didn't translate to very many views or likes, unfortunately. So what am I going to do from going forward? Well, I'm still working on improving this channel. I went through and deleted all of these playlists today. I'm going to keep working on my content, trying to produce some good content, good quality content. I'm going to go through all of my content and update some stuff and delete it if it is, not savable. And I'm going to keep trying to use better technology. I need to probably invest in a little bit of money to get some better equipment, and work on things like being able to make videos and not be restricted to 15 minutes because it's a free thing on ScreenPal or whatever. I also need to really drill down on the identity of this channel. As you can see, it's all over the place, and that has, I think, hurt because people who come to this channel are confused about what exactly this channel is about. And I guess part of that problem is the Magpie part, because the Magpie collects bits of everything, and I definitely do that. So I need to drill down onto that and keep thinking about the key topics that are of interest to my audience and keep on working towards that goal. So there you have it. I hope that you found this video useful. Maybe you've got some ideas for your own channel, or the channel that you're thinking of making. If you have found this useful, please like, subscribe, and click on the notifications. It really does help me out. Thanks a lot for now, and I'll catch you on the flip side.